Hello everyone, I just cleared my first tier 100 dungeon, and with that I can officially say this is a tier 100 build. So, if you're still playing in season 2, it's 2 weeks left or something, I played this chain lightning build and I've been having a blast with it. It hasn't been optimized yet, but it's quite up there. I would say it's like 90% there, or 91% because I'm level 91 and I still need 9 levels. The Paragon board I'll upload as well. Of what I got up till now, but I'll also show you kind of what I want to do in the last like 40 points that I'll get. So without further ado, the build. So first the items, then the spells, enchantments, and finally I'll do the Paragon board. Items. I have the Elementalist on this one with aspect. Stats you want to get, all stats, intelligence, crit strike. I would also say that another good stat on this would be vulnerable damage, but you know, can't get like 5 out of 5 rolls or 4 out of 4. So, Asus heirlooms are really good. I would say this is the only unique I would heavily recommend, because this can give, just right now, it gives me 11.5% crit chance for boots. That's really good. And also, just the movement speed in general is really good. You will get even more attack speed from that if you do like a dash. And then you get 32% attack speed for 2 seconds. After killing an elite, you get even more. And also nowadays with the Vampiric powers, your attack speed also scales off your movement speed, which means that anything that gives you a lot of movement speed is really good. So these boots, just good. You can get them quite early from, I think, the first Varshan. He drops these. So if you can get these, really do. I've got like 3 of them. I didn't do Varshan that many times, but really try to get these. They're really good, especially if you have a good roll on them. That's the only unique I would say, like this build. I would heavily advise. If you can't get these, just try to get movement speed, levels on teleport, levels on ice barrier, and something like that. Movement speed after killing a elite is also pretty good. So things like that we would need on your boots. For your legs, total armor is, I think, a must. Just on almost any of the things you can get total armor on, you should probably get that. I have a pretty low roll, but still pretty good. Damage reduction, also really good. Close enemies, yes, get that. Ranks to ball lightning, I recently switched. I will show you some gear that I've also had, which is like alternative gear, but I'll show you that later. For gloves, you probably won't get gloves that are rolled like this unless you get like +4 chain lightning, which really does suck that I didn't get the +4. But I've rerolled this so many times that it costs 6 million to reroll. So, but other than that, there are really good gloves. I mean, attack speed 13%, maxed out crit hit chance, and lucky hit chance. Those are just 3 golden stats you want on your gloves, and they're also quite nicely rolled. So these are just very good gloves. So this is why I have them, even though it's +3 to chain lightning on a chain lightning build. It's just because the other stats are so good. I have Raymond's. It is not a must at all. I would say if you don't have Raymond's, it is actually better for survivability, because Raymond's doesn't give any resistance or total armor. You can get like total armor, health, and damage reduction on your chest piece, and even a missing stat, like in this case intelligence or all stats, which greatly increases your survivability. But Raymond's doesn't do any of that. It just makes your teleport really cool, which I would say is pretty cool. It also synergizes really well with your ball lightnings and just your chain. Not really synergize with your chain lightning, but just with the ball lightnings, it synergizes really well. So if you have it, you can equip it, but it isn't a must because it does reduce your survivability. I would advise, if you struggle with survivability, don't use this. Just do the normal chest piece and get like total armor, max health. I would also say you would want damage reduction on there, close or far away enemies, those stats in roughly that order. I'll put the link in the description with a D4 build planner. Helmet. Also, for your gloves, you would want Unbroken Tether, which increases the chance for chain line to chain multiple times, which is just clear damage, and also mana, which is really good. So get that too. If you're not getting the Raymonds, I think this one is damage reduction. No, not from crowd control. From enemies. I'll show you the other aspect you could get in there, and I will add it in the build later. For this, you want total armor as well, maximum life, cooldown reduction, and one of the stats that actually is pretty good on this is actually increase of crowd control duration. because you'll be stunning quite a lot with this build, and your stuns are already like 3 seconds and 2.5 seconds, so increasing that actually has quite a bit of potency. So if you get a good roll of that, I mean, on the amulet it's 18%, but I think on a headpiece you can get quite a lot of percent on there as well. So you can get it up to like 40%, which means your 3 second stuns will now be 4 seconds, which is quite a bit, especially in the higher tiers. Not for elites, but for all the other mobs, they'll be dying quite quickly. You want Disobedience on there. Disobedience is really good. You really want to stack armor as well. This is why you want the total armor on as many of your armor pieces as you can get, because you're gonna get quite beaten quite hard, especially on tier 100. I insta die sometimes too, but especially when you get to level 100, your resistance will go up, as will your armor with the gear of the ancestral stuff that just gets higher and higher. Then amulet. Movement speed, it's quite important. It's basically a stat you can avoid if you're really struggling with the other tough stuff, but just for overall speed of clearing, and also because your boots scale with the movement speed, it is also crit chance. So I would say movement speed is very important. Overall, just really good. Crowd control duration is really good. Cooldown reduction, something you can only get on your amulet, so that's really something you would want to get. I have glass cannon passive, but there are other things you could get on here that are just as good as the glass cannon passive. Also ranks to defensive gears, pretty good. Even ranks to, I'm thinking ball lightning as a mastery spell, so yeah, ranks to those. So those are all pretty good as well. For your ring, you would want, of course, crit chance and crit hit damage. And other than that, I would say for the lightning damage, you could also go for max health. That scales really well because you'll be putting reds, ruby stones in each of your armor pieces, which I don't have on my pants for some reason. And those will be giving you max life. So the more max life you have, the better it scales. And I have 10k max health, but I've seen people have 13k because they have their ring or their helmet with actually some, or a chest piece with actually some good max health. And you can get quite a bit more tankiness, which really, in the higher levels, really helps that you don't get one shot each and every turn, which is really good. And for your amulet, also, I forgot, Conceited is really good. It's just increased damage while you have a barrier. You'll be having your barrier up most of the time. Every time you use a cooldown, plus with your ice armor, which is quite a lot of the time, you'll just have a barrier, which means you'll just get a 38% damage buff. Really good. Overall, you want one recharging, just doesn't matter what, recharging really good. 3 mana back every time your lightning chain bounces, which also synergizes with your chain lightning, which means 4 additional times you gain 12 mana extra, which means you just get almost a free cast every few times that you cast it, just because of this extra thing. And also for stats, crit hit chance, crit strike damage. Vulnerable damage is a little bit lower than the crit strike hit strike damage. And then health or lightning damage is the 4th stat you want, depending on how well you do survivability. Same thing on this one. I've got a really good roll on this. Didn't even need to reroll. I can reroll the maximum life, which I now that I see it will probably do. But other than that, it's a really good roll. But I could get like 500 more health out of this. That's the only thing. I have Storm Spell on this one, so deal more damage against vulnerable enemies while you have a barrier, which is basically all the time. Now that one out of 4 of your chain lightnings will actually put vulnerable on them, which also synergizes with that. It chains 4 additional times, which means 4 more enemies will get vulnerable, and all of your damage will stack on them. And these 2 are while you have a barrier, but you'll have a good uptime on your barrier. As I said before, this one we already know, it's a 40% crit chance, but this synergizes well with a lot of your crit chance on other stuff, which you should be able to get a rough 80 to 90% crit chance on most of your stuff, and then varying between 80, 90 to 100 because you have some passives that scale up and down. Then for your focus, you want to have control in there. It is not important, so you got your rings and the gloves and the two of your weapons. It is not really that important which one you have the aspect of control on or whatever. If you're rocking one staff, I would say, depending on how much crit chance you have, that the Elementalist is really good. But some people I've seen that have put the Unbroken Tether upon it. I think 80% chance to chain 4 additional times is really good because all of the other things basically almost guarantees that you get 4 extra chains, which is really good generally. So Unbroken Tether will be on number 1 to get for your staff. And then you would have to lose either this one, the Elementalist, or you would need to lose the Stormswell, depending a little bit on how much crit chance you have. But I think this one, 35% increased damage to stunned enemies, is just way too good to pass up. Even though it doesn't do that well on bosses, every other elite will you will get an advantage on this. We don't use any frozen or immobilized, so you won't see any of that in there. But that's basically what you would want. For this, also on your focus, you would want crit chance, cooldown reduction, and main stat. Those are really important there. And lucky hit chance is some other stuff that would be quite nice, but those aren't really as necessary as the other ones. I would say if I could make this one perfect, I would change the all stats probably for the crit hit chance, or depending, or max for all hit stats and then get a crit hit chance instead of a lucky hit chance. But now I have quite good stats, as you can see. Almost max of the resistances of all of them. I still need to level a little bit and get a glyph, so this one will be maxed out soon as well, because the glyph will be giving me like 5% on it as well. And for 50% critical hit chance, just with the boots, and that's if I dodge, I'll get to 70%. And then basically with this on it, it gets to 100. Or with this just now, I get to 90. And then it varies a little bit depending on if I got movement speed for something or whatever. Critical hit chance, 400% damage. Got a lot from Paragon, but I'll get into that later. So basically also a lot of vulnerable damage that you would want. And the weapon attack speed is 1.2 because we have these unlocked. Okay, that's basically it for items. I'm gonna move over to abilities here. Oh, I can put a level into that. As for abilities, 2 points into the first one, we don't really care about that. That's just to unlock the other stuff. Maxed out chain lightning with destructive chain lightning. I do notice there's a lot of these crackling energies floating around, so you could try around and try greater chain lightning, especially if you have a staff that has plus 80%. Plus 4 chains on there. This could get quite wacky with extra chains on there. So you could get quite a bit of damage on there just from the extra chains, with the last one hitting quite hard. So you can try play with that as well, depending on how much crackling energy you need, how much mana problems you have, and all that kind of stuff. 1 point into devastation and 3 in elemental dominance to get that, because you're basically always above 50 mana, so you get a 39% on the damage. Here it gets quite wacky. We have 1 on elemental attunement, so you can get a reset every 10 seconds. You almost always get this, so there's no need to put any more points into this. Flame shield, I put 1. Some people have flame shield increase with your life missing, but I don't really put that. I now realize how good it really is, and also gets you some movement speed in there. That's also pretty good. I would say if you have like +1 to all defensive stats, you could get, instead of these 2 points, you could get it in there. But now I just don't really have the points to spend for that. So for now, I don't put it in there. Teleport, and also getting the damage reduction after you teleport, really important. 3 seconds of 30% damage reduction is really good. So please don't skip out on that. And I have 8 points into glass cannons. Because of the rain points, I get 2. And because of my necklace, I get 3. So now 50% increased damage. But I do take 24% increased damage, which is quite a bit. I die quite a bit. Not all the time, but in below tier 100, I can get one shot pretty quickly by elites. So you really want to be careful about this. If you really don't take this as this is like nice, take it off your amulet, or don't wear raiments or whatever, or try to scale down the points. You can get 3 points somewhere else. You can put them in here, put them in teleport, so you teleport more often, or just try to get other points. 1 point to the ice armor. The other stuff you don't really need. You don't really need the mana regeneration or whatever of those two. Then we get to this lucky hit chance, put in all of that. We do get quite a bit of lucky hit chance percentage. I think we're up around 30% or something, which does increase the lucky hit chance of this one to 41%, which is quite a bit. We're triggering our bot lightnings quite often, which is nice. Aligned elements, just 1 point, so we can put the points in the other things. 21% damage reduction. We keep this up almost permanently because we're just spending that much mana. Protection, every 3 seconds of barrier, which means that even with your lightning spear, your teleport, and your ice armor, you're getting a barrier, which means you always get the damage bonus from your necklace and from the ring that has the damage against vulnerable enemies while you have a barrier. Lightning spear This one is important. Invoked Lightning Spear. For 2.22 seconds, you will be stunning people when critically striking. You've seen I got like 90% crit chance, which means Lightning Spear is just basically a stun stick, stunning everyone around you. And it's like basically walking around with a zooming taser that has heat vision or heat-seeking missile that's just stunning everyone before you even can see them. Lightning Spear is really good just for that fact. And this is why, luckily, we don't need Frost Nova anymore. This is why we can actually put it in our bar instead of Frost Nova, which is really good because it has a lower cooldown, more spammable. Only the casting time is a problem. That's the only thing that's a downside for this. But because it has a notable casting time and it is quite annoying. Sometimes you do lose a little bit of DPS, but it is a cooldown. You get some damage reduction. So most of the time you'll be casting it anyway. Static Discharge just to get 3 points in the Invigorating Conduit. You could say you could play around with this, maybe put some less points in and maybe put some more points in it depending on how mana hungry you feel or how mana hungry you are. I think this is just good because if you're low mana, you just walk around real quick. You see there's so many of them. Walk around a little bit, you have full mana again. No problem, no worries, and you just move on. Ball Lightning, all of this, you want all your points in this. And also getting, generating crackling energies with that, with the Wizard's Ball Lightning. I'm just thinking, it stuns enemies for, this stun is not really applicable. You would want some extra crackling energy with this. And it's also, the more crackling energies you get, you can get mana back from those as well. So Ball Lightning is really good. I also have the enchantment of this one. So critical strikes have a chance to spawn static Ball Lightning. This synergizes really well with your Rayments because you basically teleport in. Teleport, basically, by the way, has a 107% lucky hit chance on me. So basically guaranteed to proc a lucky hit. And which then means you have a 30% chance to spawn a static Ball Lightning for everything you hit. So you basically almost always get a Ball of Lightning on there. And then everyone gets pulled in, gets hit by the Ball of Lightning. And it just goes really quickly, as you will see in the demonstration of the tier 100. Unstable Currents with extra attack speed, really good. Also, Crackling Energy pulses faster because that synergizes with your overflowing energy, which basically means that while you're ulting, your ult will come back even faster because it's hitting more and more enemies at a faster rate, and you'll never run out of charging while you're doing your ult. Then basically Coursing Currents will get you just one. If you have very low crit chance, you can invest more points into this, but I already have 90%, so I don't really need extra. This one does give me a little bit higher, which is why I say basically it varies between 90% and 100% critical hit chance. Then we have Conduction, 9% increased movement speed, just good. You'll keep this up permanently if you just hit something. That's good. More movement speed, you'll get around faster, do more things, get more items. 15% damage reduction, just good extra buff. And this one's really important, just to have either 1 point in it or 3 points. This one just makes all of your lightning damage, or shock damage, potato, just have a chance to stun enemies. Which means that also your teleport will have a stun to extra stun things. If you don't wear Raymond, it actually does stun quite a bit. 3% chance you would say is not that much, but if you have a Ball Lightning that's on there, if you're constantly hitting with people with Chain Lightning, you could see just the numbers just gathering around people. It's just all shock skill damage, which means that 3% will happen quite a lot of the time. Sometimes I just randomly right click on something, it gets stunned. That's because of this. It's just really good to have things stunned, because then you automatically also deal a lot more damage to it. And remember, you deal 35% increased damage to stunned enemies, plus all the other stun bonus. And as I said before, overflowing energy at the end. Then, 1 second, of course, enchantments. I am running in 20% increased enchantments, which means that you have a higher chance to spawn the static Ball Lightning, and you will spawn more Chain Lightnings out of there as well. 20% chance increase doesn't seem that much, but it actually does add up quite a bit because you're just spamming more and more damage in there. And the other things on the board really aren't that good, except for Crackling Energy, which I will still get. Okay, for the board, I've got quite a weird board, but I would say for now it works out quite well. I'm getting all of these resistances because I was dying a lot. For the first one, I have Tactician. If you're starting out, you would probably first want the Destruction or Exploit to be in there. But I switched them out because I can get more Dexterity here than I could get there. And these rare notes are really good. So Tactician is one you would want to level second. First, you will want to level the exploit. So you get basically the rare nodes there to get all of the resistance. And then you move on to the static search board, which means that every 90 mana, this will be your vulnerable maker. So you'll be able to make enemies vulnerable with this, which is really good, which is why we don't need the... what was it called again? The Frost Nova. We don't need it anymore. It's not our vulnerable applier anymore. Our Chain Lightning is now our vulnerable applier, which is insane that that can happen. But that's really good. So I really want that. Damage to elites and stunned enemies. That's just good. I would say pick those points. You could take some points off here. Don't really need all those things. I mean, damage to stunned enemies. If you could get better things like this, I would say try to get it here. Now we basically got extra resist in there, and we need to get willpower. So, okay, we'll do that later. But basically, the second one you would want to get. So I said I had the destruction. First, I leveled exploit, put that in the first one. Second, I put destruction in there and leveled that one. But I have destruction on my third table now right now because I could get more dexterity from there. So moving on, you get your static search node, you get some lightning resistance, you get some damage, and then you slowly move up to damage to stunned enemies. Get that node because quite a bit of damage and also maximum mana. I have 119 maximum mana, which means I'll also get just 2 mana more back every time I trigger this, which is 10% of your mana. It might not seem like much, but in over like 100 mana, you will get, this is quite a bit of mana extra, and you get a free cast every few times. So those are small differences that do make a difference on the long run, and just more mana means you'll be able to get above 80% of your mana, or the whatever this one is. Above 100 mana, you'll be able to get that more often because your base mana is already above it. Anyway, Paragon board, more resistance to all elements is really good. You want to get that, especially if you're dying quite a lot. Ceaseless Conduit means that your crackling energy is just better. This one, you could say you would get the Enchantment Master first, but I think this is actually quite good, and crackling energy does quite a bit of damage as well, especially with how much it's getting, and that it doesn't take any chargeable burst, and it pulses a lot faster. Damn, I'm really messing up my words right now. I'm trying to rush this because I've been recording for quite a bit of time already. So I know that I kind of want to get this off faster. So then we do have the Electro, which now that I think about it, I think I already am way above maxed out on the lightning resistances. So that's not necessary. This one is quite important. You can get on this table, you could get 49 dexterity all around in this one, which when you have your glyph maxed out, or above level 15, which means you will get 49 dexterity in there, getting that with each time of your glyph. It will be getting a lot of critical hit damage, and you'll be critical striking a lot. So this is really good. I would say try to get either critical hit strike on there or your vulnerable damage. I chose critical strike because I already have like almost a guaranteed crit hit chance. Let's see. Then for the next node, we pick the... What's this one called? Oh, there it is. The Enchantment Master. We run 2 enchantments, which we both utilize. So why not put that in there? And then get the resistance. Get the non-physical damage. And also the more resistances to all elements. And then get the non-physical damage when you can. Let's see. We could put that point out of there. And... no, we don't want to lose any resistances. I'm going to alter this out real quick because, you know what, we're doing this live, you know. Gotta live a little. And just to see, could we... where could we spare a point? Where could we be a cheapskate and spare a point so we don't need the... all the willpower I get from there, I do need... oh, wait. Yeah, I can switch that one out. So get 1 willpower off of there and put it in there. But... No, I do want this one. But okay, I'll do this specific stuff later. Finally, the Vampiric powers, which haven't even fully been utilized since I switched my gear. Basically, you would want increased damage against stunned, immobilized, frozen enemies. Great. Also, insta-killing any loot goblins. Double bonus. Ravenous. Insane attack speed you just get just from this one. Current bonus. 56%. Just that. I mean, 80%. Increased attack speed, just like that. Okay, that's increased. That's really good, very good. Also, lucky hit chance. Remember, 100%. You basically get this instantly if you teleport. 6 seconds. 9 seconds cooldown. This one gets reduced a lot. You see the point. It will be up most of the time. It is just insane to get from a Vampiric power. 16% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Vulnerable, you're making that a lot. So you don't need to do the metamorphosis to apply a consistent vulnerable on there, because you can make them vulnerable with your legendary aspect. Then anticipation, cooldown, ultimate skill cooldown reduction. Good. That's it. Killing enemy fortifies your base life. For bosses, I would say that Undying is better. I should have equipped Undying. I died on a 99 run, but whatever. And for this one, this is really good. 8% crit chance is increased. And fortifying is just really good as well. So that's basically it for the video. I will have to make a quick build planner for this one as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be showcasing this tier 100 run. I kind of spoiled it already with the dead body here, but you'll be seeing that just to see some gameplay of it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll be making some videos on Season 3 as well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Don't forget to like, subscribe. See ya. Let's go. Tier 100. Let's see if I can beat this boss.
I need time to prepare that.
Okay, these enemies. Oh, this is gonna be great for the video. Just got one shot by a bear. What the hell? How?
I need time to prepare that. I need time to prepare.
Okay, he's already. Okay. First elite mob already got me sweating. Oh boy. And I need to pay attention every second. Getting distracted here.
I need time.
Oh boy. Okay, they're already unstoppable. That's bad. Stop tricking my potions. I'm doing.
I'm low on
As I say that, we'll take another potion.
I need time to prepare that.
Focus.
I'm not ready yet.
Oi! Oh, the blood blister. This is the first time I died by a blood blister. Damn. Really didn't even see it. I was too concentrated on killing that damn mammoth. Then get a ton of fish. Yeah, just having that much time on elite, that's already a bit of a problem. But oh well, we'll see. I'll probably die a few times more. Who knows, maybe this will be a dungeon where I don't need to kill a boss to actually get to the ending. Any blood blisters? Pay attention. Yeah, there's blood blisters.
I'm not ready yet.
I think it is truly that I'm not doing enough damage, not the fact that they are tanky. Oh, both. Is it a level difference thing? No.
not ready yet.
Oh boy. Okay.
I need time to prepare that.
Oh boy. Get that blister out of there. Okay. We're halfway. Stand in that.
I'm not ready yet.
Come on, get the shrine, damn it.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh boy.
I need time to prepare that. I need time to prepare that. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Okay. Oh shit, it's an event. How are they gonna do that?
Out of mana.
Oh boy. A minute? Oh boy. Oh, that flying. Oh, it doesn't insta-kill me. Good. Means I can actually at least have a chance. Oh! Okay. Damn. 25 whole seconds left. Equipment is close to breaking. That's bad. We really don't have any reason for us to go to an event. But whatever. Okay, can't move. Oh boy.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh boy. I'm so greedy. But here's the boss, so you know. Which boss is it gonna be? Damn ball! Which I think I can actually clear. As long as he doesn't one-shot me. Which he can. Okay, that's smack. Yeah, he hits everywhere.
I need time to prepare that.
Get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh, get a shield, deal over damage. Oh boy, he farted on me. It's tank. Don't hit me, don't hit me. Okay. Okay, this is an easy boss. We can get this, boys. This is the tier 100. Oh! Okay, we got him. Let's go. Yes! We cleared 100, boys! Woo! Ah, nice. Get out of here, boss blister. Damn. Okay, died at the first second, but still got it. Woo! Nice. Okay. Upgrade this glyph. Almost get it to level 31. Of 21. Okay. So, we're gonna go over the build. We're gonna do a build video. We're gonna do it right now. To celebrate our tier 100, we're gonna immediately do the build video. Okay. So, basically, hello and welcome everyone. We're gonna start at the begin or at the end. This is gonna be a YouTube video, so let me get this intro out, and we'll start right here. Let me